What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? CSGs, man. We all we got, baby. We all we got. What's going on, man? I appreciate everybody for coming through, joining us at the Rockets Chop Shop for the post game live stream. How you doing? How you doing? How you feeling? Yes, yes, yes. Once again, we back at it. Now, we take a loss to the New York Knicks, 118 to 124. We are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, and these things happen, and we can tell that for us to win and for us to be in every game, we gotta have all our people. Now, I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, because we were shorthanded, but it do play a factor when your starting point guard is out and your starting center is out. Not to forget about Jabari, our starting point power forward. But since our man been in, we've been playing pretty good. So we can't underestimate the importance that Sengun have to this team, and also Dylan Brooks. Fred VanVleet, that his leadership and his way that he can calm the team down is important, and also our half court sets. I believe that we wasn't able to generate much in the half court. That's pretty much why we lost. We wasn't able to get dribble penetration with Jalen Green. I don't know if he's hurt. He was limping, but he did have, an elite defender on him most of the game. And so Mikal Bridges. So it is what it is. We lost. We in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. 3 games without Sengun. These things happen during the course of a season. These things happen. So let's not overreact, and let's not act like the sky is falling. These things happen. But yeah, it was some questionable things that was going on. Jalen Green was getting hacked. He was getting hacked going to the goal, and it wasn't much call. But, these things, we only can control what we can control. We can't control if the ref is going to blow the whistle or not. I think we actually shot more threes than them, and I think we made more threes than them, which will usually be a key factor in us losing the game if the team outscores from the arc. But that wasn't the case tonight. I think the turnovers hurt us, and just the lack of awareness defensively. We let a lot of easy walks to the goal, like layups. We usually be pretty good to deal with points in the paint, but tonight we just gave up too many points in the paint. If you ask me, we didn't make it hard enough for them to get to the rack, because their shots wasn't really falling, So they was doing most of their damage in the paint, and we really can't have that. We really can't have that they was getting such easy buckets going to the rack. Now things things are kind of bad when we got Jayshawn Tate starting. Tate was actually starting, so that'll tell you a lot. But Tate played pretty good. He wasn't the reason why we lost this game. So I'm not gonna blame the Tate. I'm not gonna blame no one. We just were shorthanded. We were just shorthanded. But we fought. We showed that even though we were down people, that we do have heart. We do got soul. We do got fight. We still got that grit and grind mentality, bring your lunch pail to work every day mentality, and that what's kept us in the game. Like I said, we just can't half court sets. I think we just stopped getting turnovers, and we stopped pushing the ball off the rebound. We stopped doing the things that was actually going to help us win this game. We just didn't let it. We didn't pay enough close attention and push the ball out in transition, because that's when we're best. I think Cam Whitmore had a good game. Our man Thompson, he had a pretty good game. He turned it over on one of those last few possessions that really kind of sealed it for us. But you you the hero sometimes, and you the goat, you the scapegoat. So um, I wouldn't say the sky is falling. Don't give up. I know we've been winning, and it's been good, and it's been great that we've been winning. So we ain't that new to winning. I mean, or we're not that used to winning to not know how this feels, having to lose a few. I think the All-Star break will be big and key for us, so we can take that much needed week off and recuperate, regenerate, refocus, get our minds back together. LP is the only one that's really a All-Star, so he'll be there. I mean, Thompson, I'm pretty sure he should be in the Rising Stars game. He should be in the Rising Stars game. I'm not sure if Sheppard would be, but for the most part, the other teams, the other players on the team should be able to get that much needed rest. I think we need to retool, revamp, recuperate, regenerate, and make a valiant push to the end of the season. So the way we play defense, the way we play with heart, I think we starting to get heavy legs. I think we starting to get physically burnt out. We do have a back-to-back tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets. Speaking of the Brooklyn Nets, it's crazy that we lost to the Brooklyn Nets the other day, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can get back tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets and break this 3-game losing streak. Break this 3-game loser streak. Now, is LP the heart of this team? Is he the heart of this team? When I was looking at the game, I'm like, we just don't seem like we got that spunk that's needed, that oomph. Like, could be from just being tired, wore out. Could be that LP is such a centerpiece for this team. We can't underestimate the value he brings to this team. So it might be a little bit of mix of both. Udoka, he coached you hard. He coached you to your limit, to your max. So our guys could be hitting that proverbial wall, mid-season wall right now, and that's understandable. All-Star break, we will get it, and we will recuperate and get back at it. Who's in here with us, man? How y'all doing? How you doing, man? I appreciate everybody for coming. Hit that like button if you're in here with me. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. It really helps us. It really helps us. So yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into these stats. The Houston Rockets fall once again to 118 to 124 to the New York Knicks. Tari Eason played 34 minutes. He was 5 for 11 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks, a negative 17 with 12 points. Our man Thompson played 37 minutes. He was 9 for 17, 0 for 2 from 3, 7 for 7 from the free throw. He's starting to improve on his free throw shooting. 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, a block, a negative 4 with 25 points. He had a triple-double. Our man Thompson had a triple-double. He was everywhere, man. I think we starting to expect these type of performances from our man Thompson. Like always, he was special tonight. He stuck out like a sore thumb from the rest of the guys tonight, in my opinion. And he was excellent. Jayshawn Tate played 22 minutes. He was 4 for 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from three-point line. He didn't attempt a free throw. He had 1 rebound, 6 assists though, 1 steal, a negative 24 with 8 points. Jayshawn Tate was decent this game. He was decent. He didn't, like I said, he didn't lose the game for us, but I will really want someone else in that 3 spot. Dylan Brooks played 40 minutes. He was 4 for 12 from the field, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, negative 13, a negative 13 with 11 points. Jalen Green played 36 minutes. He was 9 for 22, not very efficient. 1 for 8 from the 3, not good at all. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds and 5 assists, but he had 6 turnovers, negative 22 with 21 points. Jalen he's not the lead ball handler. When we see these games where Jalen have to be the lead ball handler, he have these type of mistakes. He have these type of turnovers and things like that. So it's typical for when we see Jalen Green have these type of games where he have to be the primary, distributor of the ball or be in the actions. He don't pay attention, man. He'll lose the ball. He'll make dumb passes. We really can't trust him to be the lead ball handler right now. And this type of results that we get, he was very inefficient from the field, 9 for 22. Like I said earlier, he wasn't getting a fair call. He wasn't getting a fair whistle. Like some other guys will get, but it is what it is. He haven't earned that right in the eyes of the refs. So we got to live with it. Cam Whitmore played 23 minutes. He was 7 for 14 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, a +9 with 18 points. I think Cam was good off the bench. Cam was good off the bench. He gave us that spark we needed. I think he kind of kept us in the first half. I can't be mad at Cam this game for taking the shots that he took because we wasn't generating much offense to begin with. He really took it a brunt of the offensive shots in the first half and kind of disappeared in the second half. I don't know, did we intentionally go away from him, but he didn't play quite as many minutes as he did in the first half. So, but I think he kept us afloat. He kept us in the game. I think he had a pretty decent game. Steven Adams played 26 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for Steven Adams, but with Sengun down, I would rather see Steven Adams than Jock Londale. It is what it is. We got to live with it. This is why at the trade deadline, I think we need to give up something and get us a nice backup big. Because we see these things with Sengun. I'm not going to say he's injury prone, but through every season, he kind of have these spells where he can't go. So in his absence, we need a serviceable backup big to take up, the slack when Sengun is not there. We see these kind of trends with Sengun now. I ain't saying he's injury prone, but he missed the last 2 months of last season. He got these injuries. He got an injury right now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But we do need someone to spell him if these things continuously happen. So 26 minutes for Steven Adams, 4 for 9 from the field. He was decent. He had 13 rebounds, 1 assist. He was a +18 with 8 points. Aaron Holiday, he came in. He played some good minutes. He had some big key shots. He had some threes. He did a couple of floating runners to kind of keep us in the mix in the fourth quarter. But it wasn't enough. Aaron Holiday is not going to be the guy that you look for to, be a closer or anything like that. He's a connector piece. He's a backup point guard, but he's serviceable. He got a shot. But I think he did fairly well in this role today. So it is what it is, man. Reed Sheppard, he came in, got some spot minutes. He did a whole bunch of running around. He didn't do much. I need to see a little bit more from Reed Sheppard, though. In the minutes that he do get, I need to see more from him. I don't know if it's the speed of the game. I don't know if it's the physicality, if he's just too weak. He's supposed to be a sharpshooter. The shots that he do take, he misses them. I need to see more from Reed Sheppard. but he's in a tough spot. So I kind of give him a pass. Like I always say, anything that we get from Reed Sheppard, if he played, then it's just gonna be icing on a cake, cherry on top type thing. Because I don't have much, ambition, or I don't have much thinking that expectations. I don't have much expectations for Reed Sheppard at this point. But when he do get in the game, he doesn't impact the game. He doesn't impact the game. You need to be like Eminem and seize the moment, lose yourself in the moment. And I think he needs to seize this because he can actually get some good minutes, or get, some good reps, and show that who he wasn't it wasn't a mistake taking him where we took him. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. That's how the ball bounces. That's how it rolls. Let's go to the stock exchange, the Houston Rockets stock exchange. Tari Eason, his stock is, I think he still got some of that crackhead Tari in him, where he just don't, fast breaks is like his kryptonite. He sees one tunnel and he just goes for it. He doesn't really look for his teammates when we on a fast break, or he get there and he'll do something crazy, right? He'll do something absolutely crazy. So I think he need to tone it back and be more aware on the fast breaks. But his stock is still the same. I wouldn't say buy him, just hold him. Hold Tari Eason stocks. He's good. I think I seen somebody earlier say that I think he's the piece that they think he's the piece that we need to move. I wouldn't go that far. I think he's still serviceable, being a Terra twin off the bench. I wouldn't just go ahead and try to move Tari. But if they do, and we get like a good player, because the Spurs got better. Obviously, the Lakers got better with their trade. I don't know about the Mavs. I think it's crazy. That whole Mavs trade was just crazy, out of nowhere. Like, what? Luka for AD? That's just crazy. It blew my mind. But let's move to our man Thompson. Stock is still rising. Stock is still through the roof. Yeah, he had some blunders today, but we can't hold that against him, because he was doing everything else bad. I mean, good. He was doing everything else good. He had a couple of, but that's just with growth, with time, with refining your game, refining your handles. He wouldn't lose the ball in that certain situation. He already had hit a game winner for us against the Celtics, so it comes with the territory, the ball in your hand at the last moment. I think Jabari being on the court in these last moments, he loved that type of atmosphere, and he loved that pressure where he actually comes through for us a lot of times. So it is what it is. These things happen for a young player. Hopefully he learns his lesson, but the stock is through the roof. Jason Tate, he's been pretty good from where his stock was for me at the beginning of the season and more early of the season. I would say it's an uptick. It's just not like through the roof. It's just not like a huge gain, but it is an uptick for Jason Tate. The only thing I think he just fouls too much. He fouls too much, and the offensive player uses his aggressiveness against him too easy, and he just fouls a whole lot. He really fouls too much. But he got an uptick in his stock right now. Dylan Brooks, he didn't have a very good game, if you ask me. He fouled a lot this game. He used a lot of his hands. His shot wasn't really falling like it usually do. But he still make a bit of an impact. So I'm not gonna say his stock is down. I'm gonna say just leave it even. It's a up and down battle with Dylan Brooks. He have these such games that's like a dichotomy. He can be very, very good sometimes, and he can be very, very bad. So Dylan Brooks, he's like up and down, and that's what we got to respect from Dylan Brooks. But he's not that type of player that you're going to just give him the ball and say, go win the game for us. So we got to temper our expectations with some of these players, because some of these players, that's not their game. It's not their game. So It is what it is. Jalen Green, man, since that midway, hot December when he got like player of the month, he's been erratic. He's been up, he's been down. So I think his stock is losing a little bit of his weight. His stock is not what it was 3 weeks ago. So we still holding out for him to be consistent. Cam Whitmore, I think his stock is coming up a bit. His stock is coming up a bit. He's getting a little bit more playing time, looking like he's feeling a little bit more comfortable in the offense. I still think he's very tunnel vision when he get the ball. He never see a shot he don't like. But at this point in time when we got all these guys hurt, the offense is going to have to get generated some way. So I'm not going to knock him for taking, some shots and putting the ball in his hand, because this is what we need. He's a very athletic player. He got the three ball. He got everything, you know what I'm saying? But just I would like to see him facilitate and move the ball a little bit more and stop getting so tunnel vision. That's it. Steven Adams running on with Steven Adams, man. I don't know. He's about what and what. Steven Adams is Steven Adams. I think he's getting thrown into more minutes than he even expect to play with this Sengun injury. So I really can't fault Steven Adams. No, he don't have no offensive game, but the screens that he set and the offensive rebounds that he get, he still come in and he does a good job. He was a plus 18, the second highest plus minus on the court tonight, but that's because I think he was in when we was making some of them runs and we was going up by 10, 11 points. But Steven Adams, what it is, I'm going to just leave his stock the same. Aaron Holiday, I think he got an uptick. Even in losses, you can still play good and get an uptick in your stock. So even in losses, we got some guys that actually did what they had to do. So I'll say he got a little uptick in his stock. And with Sheppard, his stock is just we don't even know what he is right now. I don't even think he have a stock right now because we just don't know what he have. Once he get his feet cemented in the game and be able to play, find his role, get some more minutes, then we can see exactly what we got with Sheppard. I don't know what he is, truthfully. I just don't know what he is right now. I don't even really know what to expect from him. I don't even know what he is. So his stock is what it is. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what he is. Offensive player of the game, yes, we got to give it to Thompson. He had a triple-double. He was everywhere. He was facilitating. He was grabbing rebounds. He was scoring. He was doing what we need to do. He kept us in the game. He kept us hustling. He kept us on schedule a lot of the times. He led the fast break a lot of the times. Offensive player of the game have to be Thompson. I think he had the best offensive game tonight. You know what I'm saying? He had the best offensive game tonight. So he might. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty soon we might have to have a discussion about who our best player is. Presently, I think it's Sengun, but it's not by much. Thompson is like right there. I think by the end of this season, we might have to reevaluate who's our best player. Yes, Sengun got the All-Star nod. Yes, he contributes to winning. But man, Thompson is on his right on him, bro. I wouldn't. It's because Thompson didn't start the whole season, so it's not like I could just elevate him. But he was key to a lot of these wins that we didn't had this whole season. This whole season. So I'm telling you, next season, if Thompson develop his game a little bit more, get a little bit more consistent jumper, tighten up his handle a little bit, keep the same energy on defense, keep the same energy rebounding, this dude might be our best player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, I'm not saying he is right now. I'm saying by next season, he They know. I don't even say okay. Voodoo. Voodoo says space. You got to perform when the other team know. Right. Let me. Oh, I lost the comment. Space. You got to know when the other team thinks you're the best too. Right now, our man flies under the radar. They don't game plan for his offense. I'm not so sure about that. I know he they don't game plan for his offense, but I know that he's on the radar. I know coaches is telling them if you get the ball, you better look around and see what number one is. If you're on the way and you doing a layup, you better look around and see number one is. If number one got the ball, then you better try to stay in front of him because he's going to go to the rack on you. If you are boxing out, you better be aware and sure where you know number one is because he's going to grab the rebound. He's going to out rebound you. He's going to out hustle you. He's on people scouting report, but he's probably not the centerpiece, but he's definitely on people scouting report to look out for number one because he gets the most offensive rebound. He keeps, even if he don't get the rebound, he'll tip it, keep the ball alive. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. So I understand what you're saying, Voodoo. He's not the core of our offense yet, like Sengun, but he's pretty much he do be everywhere, but I do agree that he's not the core centerpiece of our offense. I don't think they going in and be like, we stop our man Thompson from scoring, we'll win. Definitely they go in and say if we stop Sengun from scoring and facilitating and doing things, then that'll be a key to the success. Because our man Thompson got weaknesses. They're telling them to back off, don't give him the lane, make him shoot. So he's definitely on their radar. I wouldn't say that he's just flying under the radar. No, they know about him. Believe me, they watch the same tape in the same film that we do. They watch the same tape and they see what this guy do just like we do. Defensive player of the game, man, wasn't much defense playing. Wasn't much defense played this game as far as being everywhere. Like if I had to, I guess I have to give that to our man too. But it wasn't much defense played. They put up 124 points on us. They put up 124 points on us. So it wasn't a whole lot of defense to be played. On both sides, they wasn't doing a hell of a good job on defense either. They just got the vets when it came down to crunch time. They made shots and they made plays that we didn't because they had the vets and they've been, a little bit more experienced. It wasn't a whole lot of defensive plays. So I'm going to just lead this up. Who do y'all think the defensive player should be? Y'all let me know. I'm up in the air on it because I can't really tell. Whoever y'all think the defensive player should be, y'all should. Tari did play some good defense. Tari, I probably would give it. I don't know. That's hard. Tari did play some D ghosts. You right. He made some good blocks. I wouldn't be mad at giving it to Tari because I don't think Tari really won it this season yet. So I go with Ghost. I say Tari, but that's not saying much, really, considering because in the fourth quarter we gave up 46 points. We gave up 25 points in the first, 27 points in the second, 26 points in the third. And in the fourth quarter, we gave up 46 points. We almost gave up 50 points in the fourth quarter. We almost gave up 50 points. Just let that sink in. We lost the game in the fourth quarter. We almost gave up 50 points in the fourth quarter. Sanjay say Tate. Oh, man. Sanjay say Tate. Oh, you want to say, okay, Tate the defensive MVP? If that's what tonight, whoever you think is the defensive player of the game, that's up to you. That's up to you because I can't really decide. And I'm just being all the way honest with you. So once again, 118 to 124, the Houston Rockets lost. We are on a 3-game losing streak. Like I said, it is what it is. The skies are not falling. We're still third in the West. We can't get too far behind the Memphis Grizzlies. So it is what it is. We're going to have to reshape rebound. We do have another game tomorrow against the Nets. Maybe we can get them back. Hopefully we don't make it 4 in a row. Now, if you want to come up, it's a link at the top of the chat. You see it says Rockets Shop. Join here. If you want to come up, if you want to give your take off, you're more than welcome to come up. Calling all Chop Shop fans. If you want to come up, hit the link at the top of the chat. Come on up so we can chop it up and you can let me know how y'all feel. We can let me know how y'all feel. We got my boy Frank in the building. Oh, Frank, you got two profiles. Which one you on?
Try to fix it, bro.
Okay, now I see which one. I see which one you on. I can remove this one.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's
Oh,
been
okay,
up,
we
man?
good, bro. Chilling, man. Chilling, just trying to make it, man. What you thought about the game, man? I know I came in a little late, so I caught a tail end and you was talking about the defensive player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just think our half court offense, man. We couldn't generate much in the half court. You know, I think we see the importance of Fred. I don't like it when he slows it down all the time, but in the fourth quarter, the last at least exactly like 5 minutes when it was tight like that, we need a half court general that's going to get us all set and do everything like get us in actions quicker and point people out where they need to be. Can't turn the ball over. He's sure at what one thing I like about him, he's a low volume turnover guy. So those possessions that we needed, we didn't have that guy to secure him, and keep him with us. We turned the ball over too many times, and I think that basically that was the game right there because it was nip and tuck all the way up until like the last 2 minutes really of the game, and that's when they had Jalen Brunson and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Basically,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, man. That it is I mean, that's pretty much what I saw too. I think um playing with pace is the only way we could play with the lineup that we got because we don't like you said the half court were down, then you get into bad situations where their defense is loaded and forcing us to our weaknesses. So playing fast, I think, is what kept us in the game. But kind of the trade-off for that is the turnovers, and they were having turnovers throughout the game, but in the closing minutes of the game,
Right.
those plays can be life or death. Like it becomes like the turnovers are just times 10. Like you can't have a turnover. So yeah, that's where you want them to be able to slow it down, get into a set, but it's hard to get into a set when it's no real like half court play on when you got Jabari out, Shangun out, and Fred out. It's a bunch of wings, bro. So yeah, it's tough, man. It really is tough. I actually like the game plan. I think Ime did a great job. Um, I mean, that's a tough team to play, and I actually think they played. I mean, Tate, Holiday, uh, played, game of their lives. Man looked like a beast. Jalen looked good. Tari was out there balling, but like you said, bro, when it's like few minutes to go, you can't just everything can't be a fast break.
Yeah.
You feel me? You gotta slow it down, bro. That's where it's good to have a point guard that know. You notice the Knicks they went into pick and roll action to close out the game, getting Jalen Brunson downhill. Like they'll just pick their matchups and just attack whoever they wanted to. They attack Jalen, they attack a man a couple times. Brunson tough, man. That dude good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I know people
Yeah.
don't like his antics, but that's a cold dude.
Yeah, he good, bro. What do you think about playing Steven Adams so much? You think it was just out of necessity that we didn't because we didn't have no one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, and so the roster's so thin. Like, you kind of had to play him because
Yeah.
you already had Tate and Tari out there. Like, I mean, we had Regan minutes. So who? Like, I'm trying to think who. I mean, Jeff Green, was he hurt? Is he hurt?
No, they. I don't know why they don't play Uncle Jeff. I really don't know why they don't play him. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him get some five because he could screen a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Steven, I mean, we know what he is, bro. Nobody should be surprised if a point guard attacking a big NBA. Like, you can't get mad at that. That's just what you expect. Like, I don't know what else they want him to do. Like, he screens, he gonna get rebounds, and he gonna try. Like, that's why I don't get when people get mad at players. Like, if Fred VanVleet get posted up by LeBron, like, okay, and he score on him, that happens, bro. You got to take that L. And I think if Steven is out there and teams are hunting him, the only adjustment you really could do is take him off the
Take
court.
him off the court.
But yeah, but he does so many. He kind of helps with rebounding and he helps with the screening. That you like it, but the defense has been problematic. Um, it is just what it is with him. Like, I'm not mad at him. It's like me being mad at Tate for not dropping 30, bro. Like,
Yeah.
he a role player, so that's his role. And we just got to get our guys back, man. I think if Jabari was healthy, even with maybe not Fred as much, even without P out, you could. I think we'd be better off because Jabari, his minutes at the five is really effective, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the chat. I was like, we need Bari back, right? He brings the size, the length, the rebounding, and also the offensive shot. And he got far better at like the weak side rim protection as well. So I think our man is that shiny new toy, and everybody. I love the guy. I love our man, but it's something Jabari bring to the table that our man don't have. Like spreading the ball out. Being able to actually affect a taller cat because cat, our man really couldn't do nothing with cat down. You seen at the beginning of the game, he was holding cat and I think Dylan Brooks actually did better, and Tate did a better job on Cat than our man Thompson tonight. It's just something about those low, you know, thick guys. No Diddy. They used to just like James Harden. When James Harden used to be, he was one of the better post defenders because you couldn't move him. You can't get him off the mark. It's so hard. Um, and I think Dylan Brooks and Tate did a better job on Cat at the beginning of it. And I just think Jabari, he would have stretched that floor out and he would have actually made some more shots too as well. After catch and shoot and things like that.
Barry's so bad, bro. Yeah, I think with the men thing, I don't know. I don't know. I do agree with the shiny new toy thing. I think a man is. I do like his point guard game, though. I think that we got a little glimpse of him being a floor general. I'm not even mad that he turned the ball over late. Like,
Nah,
take
me
your
either.
lumps when you, yeah, take your lumps. He gonna learn. That's just stuff that happens. And that high leverage of a game, him getting the usage and the on-ball reps he's getting, you expect some of those things to happen. To me, it's like, but at the same time, there's clear to his game, and I think the Knicks exploited some of them tonight, even on the
Mm-hmm.
offensive end of the court, where he was forced to take jumpers that because they just walled them off. And that's one thing. Like, every player, the reason I like the playoffs is that, or when you play really good teams, is that whatever they're gonna find it.
Yeah.
They're gonna find it, and they're gonna make you have to punish it. And if you punish them, shout out to Boston when him and Dylan went off, then tip of the hat. Like, they'll live with that, bro. Like, we play Boston in the series, bro. We probably win 2 games, bro. You know what I mean? We'll win 1 or 2 games because if your game plan is to have Amen Thompson and Dylan Brooks average 60 to beat a Boston team, then you're probably gonna lose
Yeah, easy.
because that's what yeah that's what Jalen Brown said. The people who we wanted to beat us, you can say just tip of the cap.
Right.
You feel me? So I think that some of the stuff we want to see, we're not going to get to see it this early on for these guys. But it's okay though that they're gonna learn and grow. But I just, man, we just got to make it because to me, we lose a couple more games, man. It get real sticky. You be
Yeah.
looking at, you know,
I would
mess around and slide down to
fifth, sixth, seventh.
fourth and fifth. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But as a whole, the last time I was on, well, not the last time, one of the later time that we was on, we went through this 7 game. I think we had the last 7 out of 8 or 7 out of 9 games on the road. And I was like, if we come out 5-2, or I think it was 8 out of 9 maybe on the road. If we come out of this 5-3 or, you know, 4-4, I think this have been almost a successful road trip because we still got another road game with Brooklyn tomorrow. Like the majority of these games have been on the road. And I think that factors into it, and we have him back to back. And I think the schedule lightens up after the All-Star break, and we'll, like I said earlier, I think that All-Star break cannot come quick enough for us because the way we exude so much energy, defensive and just hustling and running, that ends up wearing you down. We probably hitting that proverbial wall right now, and I think the All-Star break will do us so much justice. We can retool, regenerate, recuperate, and come back at it and push through the season. So yeah, that's just what I think. What do you think about as a whole these last 3 games? Is it the same problems that you see in every game, Frank, or is it like different case
yeah.
scenarios?
What's the three? Is Memphis and we lost. Well, the Brooklyn one was just a head
Yeah,
scratcher, bro.
Memphis, Brooklyn, and this
Yeah,
one.
Memphis and New York, yes. Late game, late game execution, and that's the Sengun thing because we've been leaning on him to be our late game closer. And if it's not him, there's an action off of him, or it's a two man with him. But they involve him in some way, shape, or form with our offense. So not having that there is like forcing guys to play out of character.
Right,
And I think that kind of I think if we didn't have him for extended period, they figure something out. But obviously having that threat there for him and his ability to draw fouls, to get into the teeth of the defense, pass out to guys or to be a decoy, is it makes our offense a lot easier, and it makes Fred Van Vliet when he was healthy, it makes him useful, and it makes Jalen's job a little easier. And even a man it opens him up as an off-ball cutter, where he'd be. A lot of our late game stuff is Sengun just dishing off to him
right.
after the defense collapsed, but the man know how to time his cuts perfectly. So our offense is based off of a lot of LP. So when he's not there, it's like it's like it's really no. We don't have a half-court player like a KD or somebody that or what's the buddy name DeMar DeRozan. One of these guys they usually clear out and they just gonna get a mid-range shot and it's going in. So we don't have that. So
Yeah.
they just got to get more creative. But I think it is a lot of that. I think the defense also being bad is that as well. One thing with switching, in theory, switching should uh, the best form of defense, but it's a really hard style to uphold for a full game because teams start cutting on you and they start you start switching and if you ain't got five elite defenders out there, they're gonna find the soft spot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got different looks where you could blitz, you could hard hedge and help and rotate. And I think team defense, I value that type of defense more than switching. I think switching kind of lazy. I think it's a good tool at time, but it can make you lazy on your one-on-one defenders. I think a team defense where you got when we rolling, when Shangun in there, he can put his body on a driver and help out, then rotate back to help, and then maybe Jabari rotate down, and then Amen jump out on something. That's what I like to see. Like that's a real defense. That's why we good. When you switch, it's like okay, everybody go one on one, but you ain't going. It's the NBA, bro. Everybody, there's a lot of cold players. Like
Yeah,
Brunson was just tearing it up, man. He was going to work.
42 points,
Just,
man. I always wonder
whew.
why don't we run any type of zone, like even a hybrid type zone at time.
I
Uh,
think we have randomly. We just bad at it. I don't know. I don't think we're a good zone defense team. But
it's just to throw a
I don't know what it
curveball out
is.
there, do it 3-4 possessions, and get out of it, just to give the team a curveball. Because if this team is just going to switch everything every time, it's more susceptible to like back cutting and using your aggressiveness against you. And all it takes is one person to slip up on a switch, and
Yep.
that's an
We
easy
we
easy
saw
get.
it.
Yeah, it's tonight.
Get mad at. They jumped out on the same switch and just let the dude just go right by him.
Yeah, I know
Because
in
they
the
get tricky when the screeners start playing games with you.
yeah, they
When you
start
think the
fake
screener gonna come
screening
up and
and
get yeah, flipping flaring out for shots and all that.
yeah, it just don't make sense. I'm gonna ask you some questions about the trade deadline in a minute. Right now, we'll go to Voodoo. What's good, Voodoo? How you doing, man? What's your thought on the game?
All right, what's going on? First of all, can you hear me? Like, is there any background audio?
Nah,
I got
you
changed the
good.
program I use, whatever.
You
All right.
good.
Basically, this game, it kind of it disappointed me about Jalen. I'm not worried about losing, so to speak, because when you're out three starters, you're gonna lose some games. It's how we lost. It's the process that I'm having an issue with, and when when um when you're one of the top three, so to speak, arguably top two, main focal points on offense. I would expect you to be able to step up and recognize that you have to be able to process better and put your team in a situation where they're able to succeed. And Jalen didn't do that tonight. And it's not just the fact that he had turnovers. Like if you watch the quality of turnovers, these were the worst possible turnovers you can have. These are live ball turnovers in the middle of the floor that leads to a 3-on-1 fast break that nobody in the NBA is going to be able to stop. So that's directly leading to points. We gave up 26 points off of turnovers tonight. 80 points in the paint. Every layup that we give up in the transition counts to that. And it's hard to set your defense before you're able to even do anything, or like for instance when Amon or Tari is in a middle of a baseline cut, their man is flying over in the front court because we're giving up a lot for our turnover. And it's
Mm.
like I would expect that to be something from Jalen his first season, but this is year four, you know, and at some point we have to recognize, or at least I have to recognize that Jalen is probably just an offensive weapon, and not really like a guy that you run your offense through, or you build your team around. Like you can do really well with an offensive weapon if you recognize that they're a weapon and that you're not going to make them do decisions or give them burden that they can't really handle, and that just might be Jalen at this point, and that's fine. But because every team, like Jokic needs a Jamal Murray, but Jamal Murray is not the head of the snake. Jamal Murray makes it so that you can win a title, and Jokic sets your floor. But everybody knows like who you have to stop first, and that just might be the dynamic with Jalen. But it was this is probably the most disappointing game that I've seen from Jalen this season, because like it's one thing to lose, but to lose because of you, and I have the expectation that you would recognize how you're being defended, and not force the ball like on three guys leading to a fast break. Some of those offensive plays where he's missing shots in the lane, where he has no shot of making it, that might as well be a turnover to me. So in my head, I'm thinking he had 11 turnovers, not just six. You know, so when I go through go in there with that lens of like having expectations of I want to see Jalen, if we're gonna lose, actually, show that he has some mental growth, and I'm not seeing any of that. I'm seeing the same, decision making that I've seen since his rookie season. That leaves me kind of disappointed. So it's even beyond losing to the Knicks. Like, you can lose to the Knicks, and they're at home. They don't want to get swept, but losing like that, like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I hear
Like, we
you.
were minus 22 with them on the court.
Yeah, I hear you. One thing I've done personally is that I reassess my expectation from Jalen. I really have, so I won't be disappointed any longer. Now, I think we also have to reassess that under a rebuild, anything goes. He's still having to flush these bad demons out that he actually was getting away with 2 3 years under Silas. Yeah, 2 years under Silas. 3 years under Silas, I believe. Was it 2 or 3 years he was under Silas?
Two. It
It
was
was
two.
2 years. 2 years under Silas. 2 years under Silas. And last year was like another retooling. He really didn't. He from I would say this year's Jalen compared to last year's Jalen, I see a little progression. I see he hustles on defense more. He got a little better um, recognition on how he want to attack. At first he was just zoom zoom just straight downhill. He still got some of that in him, but for the most part, he took some of that away. And I just don't expect Jalen to be a lead ball handler type of guy, because we see every time he's asked to be that, he's not that. So in when we don't have Fred and we have to run the offense through Jalen, this is what I expect Jalen to look, and that's just what it is. So I don't I'm not gonna make myself upset because I've seen these time and time again when he's the lead ball handler. This is how he looks, so it's expected for me on my side. But I do agree with you. Just I think just reevaluate
Right.
your
Yeah.
expectations.
I think that's where I'm at, and I think it's probably better for the rest of the fan base to be like that, because I mean, if you think about it, like Frank likes the football arguments. You can go far with the one read quarterback. Look at Colin Kaepernick when he was under Jim Harbaugh. Like you can build around a one read quarterback. You can stack the defense up. You can make it easy for him. Have a dominant running game, but when you decide to make him into somebody else, Jim Harbaugh leaves the organization. He starts looking bad, and that just might be Jalen, where we're like, okay, Jalen, it could be just like an offensive weapon. He's the 30 point at any given night type of scorer, and you simplify the offense for him, he can thrive. But don't try to get too crazy. I think, like, my issue with like him is the processing, and yeah, he's grown a lot on defense, but the processing is still an issue. Like, it seems like the coach gave him more options mentally, like, okay, when we're doing this is what you do, type of thing, but he's not thinking in the moment, he's not adjusting in the moment. I don't know if he has that, versus like an Amon Thompson, where like he's limited on offense, but you can see that he's actively adjusting to how teams are going at him. Like, he's processing the game. When a player unexpectedly comes open, he sees that play and he's making that pass. Like that's processing. Versus like Jalen, whenever he's making like a drive off of a pick and roll, he's looking for one specific pass. If it's not there, then he's going to keep it, or like try to dribble it back out to the 3 point line. You can't make like the off kilter plays, the plays that you don't draw up. And I don't know if he has that. It might take him until he's like 27 28 to understand it on a cerebral level like that. So that just might be my expectations being too high, you know,
Yeah,
and that
and
that
I
might
would
that's
say
just me on
this:
me.
I don't blame this game solely on Jalen. We have so many other things that went bad in this game in particular. I know you're saying his game as a whole, but this game in particular, it was so many other things that was wrong with this game besides just Jalen that I don't feel comfortable putting it all on Jalen. What you think, Frank?
Yeah, I don't think it was on Jalen. I mean, yeah, he had really bad some of the turnovers were head scratchers towards the end of the game. But that's kind of been the book on him this season so far. I mean, I don't expect him to make plays like a man. A man is a point guard. A man has been groomed as a point guard. Jalen's been groomed. We're not a off ball, but off guard. Like he can score, he can handle, but his purpose of his whole career, the purpose of him dribbling the ball was to go get a bucket, not to create. So I don't grade him on that curve of someone like a Reed Shepherd or somebody when it comes to playmaking because that's not his lane. I think that he can play in the backcourt. I think in certain almost like the Jamal Murray thing. Like yeah, you brought up Jamal Murray, but you don't expect Jamal Murray to dime up your whole team. He's pretty one read quarterback himself. He's playing two man with Jokic. He's making the pocket pass or he can make one pass over. But it's effective. I think that's why Shangun and Jalen are a good pairing because when you have the playmaking tilted towards the big, then it takes a lot of pressure off the guard to do so. He just has to be efficient, which I think if you look at it, he's been doing a lot better this season than any point in his career. So I think the progression is there. I think the processing has been better. Um, I think the turnovers are a result of a little bit of possibly panicking and not having a tight enough handle or having a when you're in those situations because I think he still plays a lot off instincts. Um, whereas, like, I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know which play it was towards the end of the game. You could hear Ryan Hollins saying, "You got a trap, you got a trap," and Jalen Brunson had the ball, and you know he knows that in his mind, and he just drug out the trap, damn near to half court, just to give. I forgot who was enough space to get a running start towards the basket, and I think whoever it was got fouled. Like little stuff. What I see, like if Jalen gets trapped, he goes towards the out of bounds line. It actually helps
Yeah,
himself get trapped. Whereas Jalen Brunson drug it out to the middle of the court so he
Yeah.
could have room, and the short roll could be in the middle of the court. Like little, but that's like you got to. That's not
basketball
stuff
IQ
like you know
stuff.
what I mean. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, but that's a point guard though. That's the little differences. I think you can improve on that over time. It's just to me those are the reasons he gets caught up in stuff like, especially in late game because it gets real tight. The defense starts blitzing and stuff, and he just is in a position to make plays. So he can improve on that, but if he's not expected to be like Chris Paul, I think he can still be even in late game situations in sets he can be DHO, get your matchup and make attack and go and then kick it out to the corner. All that is still there. I think Amen Thompson is our point guard, bro.
Yeah, like
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 Yeah.
I'm
I
just I'm set
I
on that.
predicted when we're trying to win a title, it's gonna be Amin Thompson and Shingun as our top two. I'm already
I don't
predicting
know.
that.
I ain't gonna say with the NBA, man. The way I think about it now, man, you don't know who's who, bro. It could be who knows, man. It's like you don't know who's gonna be here. Shit, with stuff we seen going on in the league.
Yeah.
Um, I think you know what I mean. I don't. I try to temper my. I think one thing this reboot has taught me is you just gotta chill and just watch because whoever you think may not be it. Whoever it and may not. Whoever you don't think it might be Reed Shepherd. Who knows? Maybe Jabari turned into a superstar. Like we don't know, bro. I know the likelihood of some of those things is low. But I think a man is our most. I think he'll get the max contract before anybody else. just because what he does everywhere on the court and his production and just his impact and value and all that. But I'd like to see a little bit more expectations from him as time goes. Like Space said, I'm excited, but I'm not super excited till I see him really get the responsibilities of Jalen and Shangoon. Because that's one thing we all got to. I always say this: it's a different level of expectation when you expect it to carry an offense than when you eating off of lobs, cuts, transition. Like when you got to run sets, dominate your teammates, you got to read the defense every play, and then go back and play defense is different. So when I see players like Amen go off, even though it looks like I'm excited, I need to see him like, all right, and I love what he. Once you see that, all right, let's give him more than he can handle, so we could see it. And he's been passing all them tests, but it's a different level of scrutiny you get being that guy than when you just a role player. So I've seen Jalen be that guy and go get it. I've seen Shangoon be that guy and go get it. I've seen little glimpses, but we just haven't seen enough usage. And I think this year we'll get to see it. But I'm still, we'll see, man. But I know he my point guard, bro. And I don't know what that means for Reed Sheppard. Space, I don't know if you don't talk about that.
We
I don't know
can
what
we
that
can
means for Reed
definitely
Sheppard, bro.
we can definitely
That one
get
now.
to it. We can definitely get to it. But right now we got a major super chat, man. Jinko, he's giving out 20 memberships. So hopefully you get one of those memberships. Good looking out, Jinko, dropping the big membership bag on us, man. We appreciate that. All the love and support from me and Frank. God bless you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we can go to Aaron and then we can talk about a couple of little things that's been on my mind. What's up, Aaron?
I'm fine, man. Thank you. How are you guys?
I'm good. How about you, man?
No, I'm great. It's going okay. Apart from the injury with the Houston Rockets and the first three of the starting five lineup being out this game. It wasn't a pretty one, but we hang in there without depth for the first three quarters, but then obviously it all came crushing down.
Yeah.
But no worries. I think no worries. I think we'll pick it up. And if this happens, then yeah, I'm hearing criticisms about Jalen and also Jay Sean, but it's hard. It's hard. 3 games in a row, you're without your big. This game you're without Fred, and then Jabari been out for a very long time, and Tari just coming back. Whole different rotation, and the whole season, and actually the season before that, you're used to your schemes, you're used to your five, you're used to your position, and then suddenly you got to do something which you're not used to, and you got to do it for longer parts of stretches of the game, because what I love about Ime is because of this depth of the roster, he can switch it up for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, and then you're off for 14, 15 minutes. But now, with the lack of our rotation, he's got to push everybody to the limit. Jalen has to play 20, 25 minutes nonstop, and then Tari has to be there, and Amen has to be there for a longer stretch of times, and we've seen with Steve-O today. Okay, Steve-O's back. He's got rid from the injury, but then again, he's back at a certain level where he can assist LP. Now, when he is needing to lead the torch, it starts looking differently, and then teams can scheme against you differently. So I'm seeing this 3-game stretch as just a breather for the guys, just if their minor injuries don't get them any bigger, just keep the management load down, and then I think with the recovery of Alpi and then Jabari and Fred coming back, I think we'll be ready for the last part of the season.
For sure. I don't disagree with any of that. It's just it's the nature of the beast of being in NBA. We're gonna have these type of lulls. I think we've been riding a high, and this is just we're hitting that wall. I'll tell you, man, the All-Star break can't come quick enough, man. So Frank, do you want to talk about that Reed Sheppard? thing right now.
Yeah, we can get into it, bro. Yeah, so I seen the little comment Ime made where he said that Reed basically looks the same on defense as he did right after the thing, so he has to show more. Like, well, there's two things. One, this is I guess the best team any of our young players have, like a draft pick has ever been on. So that makes it a little different because I'm thinking if Reed was on like the Steven Silas team, he probably still be getting minutes. But the second part of it is you thinking like I think that whoever posted it has said that this may be a red shirt year for Reed, and I'm thinking red shirt, red shirt, red shirt, and I'm looking at the. I ain't gonna lie, the Rockets they could make a trade
Mm-hmm.
or a sign a free agent this summer in this position. And I'm looking at a Ben Thompson in the backcourt. I'm looking at Jalen in the backcourt. I mean, we got forwards for days, so the 3 and the 4 position, forward, but that Reed don't play the power forward. He damn sure don't play the 3. He ain't no 5. You know, we do need a 5. I'm thinking like, bro, little bro better wake up, man, because I ain't gonna lie. If he don't wake up, man, he could play himself into being a career backup. It's just too much talent on the roster.
Yeah.
The roster, and it's one of them teams. We're so good that we're not gonna wait for anybody. Like they're not gonna like this year. He ain't waiting for nobody. They already started it where it's like, all right, bro, you ain't playing good. Get out. We need somebody. Like they're not doing it. You just got to produce. So he rapidly got to improve, man. Like I think that he on the cusp of just playing himself outside of the rotation, bro. And once he get out, I don't know, bro, because there's just too many talented people.
Yeah, and I just think he just was drafted at a bad time to a team that I don't think we really needed him at the time because we're looking to win. And I think with his skill set, his size, his lack of um, athletic prowess, and think because our team are full of athletes, look like he's out there in mud. You know, I just think it was almost unfortunate that he got drafted here. Truthfully, and if he don't, like you say, if he don't pick it up, I could see him being in a trade scenario. If we was to trade someone, I think he is the odd man out on this team, and he have enough quote unquote potential because nobody know what he is. Pretty much everybody only remember his Kentucky days. He's still raw in the sense to where if you get him in your building early enough, then you can almost groom him to what you want to be. Sitting on the bench here, excuse me, I don't think it's going to help him any. You know what I'm saying? Because if we get into a trade and we want to actually get someone to trade, I think it's going to be a combo guard type of person, offensive initiator type of person, like an off-ball guard type, like a Devin Booker or someone like that. I just think it's not going to help him being just in a secondary role or a third point guard role. Like that's what is he, the number 3 pick? He can be like, just trade him if you don't see no future for him. I think trading him because right now we're all relying on that he can shoot. He'll be able to shoot. But bro, he ain't even doing that good right now. You know what I'm saying? And it could be maybe a confidence issue because he's probably so used and he's so young. I think he just turned 20. He was 19 when he came. I think before people figure out he's not good or just try to sell him for his potential of what he could be, you know. And I don't know. I don't know. Like he's in an awkward position. Do I want him to be here? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be here. I think his asset of shooting can help the team. I just don't see a clear-cut way where he can get on the floor at this point, unless we move Fred and a whole bunch of different things that happens, domino effect, to where he'll be able to get on the floor consistently. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Oh,
if I could step in just for a second. I do agree with you, Space. But what I want to see, what I badly, really, really want to see, is this team playing in the playoffs. I think playing in the playoffs will answer so many questions for us. I mean, our schemes, our physicality, our guts, our calmness, our depth, how deep we really are. I mean, is Cam trustworthy in the playoffs to come in there and play like he's playing right now? What other teams will scheme against us? I mean, when I'm thinking about trading right now, and I'm putting myself into Raphael Stone's shoes, I'm really confused because uh, I know we might need another big because Jock Blondale and Steven Adams are not going to get us there eventually. But apart from that, I mean, what's Jalen going to be panning out really when the whole roster's there and he plays like January? What do we need? Tari when he's fully back, Jabari when he's full. I mean, uh, I'm not saying you're wrong. You might be right, but I want this guarantee of okay. I want to see every single scenario possible in the playoffs to really make an educated decision about who's going to go and who's going to stay, and
yeah,
and and what exactly we need for those players that we are offering that we can get for. I mean, there's also the market is also really important. I mean, at the end of next year, and also our cap position. I mean, next year, I think at the end of next season, Jabari and Tari are set to get their extensions. For how much are we going to sign them for? If we're going to sign them, and then we're not going to trade them. So I'm not totally sure if okay. Let's say we package Reed. We package Reed into exactly what? What do we need? What's the doctor ordering? I want to see that first before. If I were Stone, I would want to see that first before I make a decision.
right. To be clear, I wasn't talking this year, like right now, or
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah,
this trade deadline. I was talking, next year and beyond. You got something
yeah.
for it, Frank?
Yeah, I think I'm with was that Aaron that said that?
Yeah, that was Aaron.
I'm with Aaron on that. Yeah, I think and in the same like I think the playoffs is the only way you're gonna answer exactly what your team needs to be able to address it. Like we talk about shooting and all this stuff, but whenever you get to the point, whether it's first round or conference finals, where you've reached the schemed or whatever your limitations are so exposed, that's where you're gonna get to see uh, what exactly you're missing. Like, do we need a guard that can close or a shooter or another type of big, or is it defense? Is it offense? Is it this? Is it that? Is it spread too like? So then you can answer those questions because that's really the only thing that's real. A lot of the regular season with the game to game, different cities, you can kind of finesse your way through a regular season and have a good record by just being smart, playing hard. And we see that there's always a team that is like a that gets exposed in the playoffs. When they get there, it's like everything falls apart. Um, because in the playoffs, it really comes down to matchups and the half court game. Sadly for us, the half court is our weakness. So I'm really curious to see. That's why I think for us, this is going to be so heavily dependent on who we match up with. If we get the wrong draw, we may be out in the first round. If we get the right draw, we could probably push to a conference finals. That's really how I see it. But that's I want to see it. I want to see whether it's first or the finals. I want to see where we at. Like, what is it that we got exposed on? Because I think that's valuable, especially for a young team. Then you can move forward from there. Um, but with the Reed, back to the Reed thing, I just think that I mean, is to me the thing is that he's a guard, and we already have. So they drafted Amen Thompson. I don't know. I'm trying to put myself like, what was the rationale? Was was Amen Thompson supposed to be like a three, and then they drafted Reed to replace Fred VanVleet, I'm assuming, and maybe have that, or maybe they didn't believe in Jalen at some point. We could have this backcourt of Reed and Amen. I don't know, but something doesn't add up. It
Yeah,
doesn't add up to me from a basketball standpoint on having Jalen Green, drafting Amen Thompson, and backdooring and drafting Reed Sheppard. And me, it's probably the lack of belief in Jalen. That's what I think. Um, and with Jalen turning it around, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe they just really like Reed and his upside. But to me, I think that's what it is because it's just so much talent on this team. Like Cam pushing for minutes. You know what I mean? As the sixth man in this, and I think that the argument against what I'm saying could be Reed is young. He has 4 years on team control. You don't have to really do anything. You could just groom him. And when you clear out everybody, when you clear out Dylan and you clear out Fred, and one of the guys doesn't resign, I don't know, maybe Cam doesn't want to stay, he's gone. Then you could find the spot for him where it's like he just is finally to the point where he's there. But I don't know. But I could definitely see him being a backup player. But I wanted to draft that three.
Voodoo.
Yeah, like with the Reed Sheppard thing,
You got
like
some feedback now. I don't know.
let me see. Let me try to fix it.
I don't know. Maybe you got some headphones in or something.
If Voodoo can't come back, I just wanted to say something else, if I may. We also don't know what Rafael Stone is talking to with other GMs. I mean, we've just seen the Luka trade, the Luka trade, and also the Fox trade, and now it comes out that with Fox and with Luka, I mean, the organizations wanted to get rid of the main stars because of wholly different reasons. We also don't know what the environment is for players that we actually may want, but how their situation in their team is. So for us to make a package, we also have to look out. Rafael Stone also has to look at the future of this organization and think, okay, who are the ones that I can get rid of the core six, but with the team like Ime wants it to, with the grit and the defensive spirit that's still clinging on. So it's a balancing act. I think we need a little bit more time to truly evaluate what we have going and what kind of package we can give for a potential star or two potential stars. And also next the next time the draft comes along, are we going to pick? Who are we going to pick? That's also very important to see.
Yeah, right now I don't think we should trade anyone, just like you said earlier. But I think there is some fringe players on this roster that we could trade and get at least a serviceable backup. Right. I think right now the need that we need almost worse than anything is a serviceable backup. So at the trade deadline, Frank, what do you think we should do at the trade deadline just for the to see us through the rest of this season?
Probably, I think that center position is would probably be the most glaring. It seems to have been a issue since last year that hasn't been. I mean, it's been addressed. Steven Adams. I think when we're whole, the Adams thing helps because then if he can't play, then you would have Jabari to play the backup five or something like that. With Jabari hurt, it kind of exposed a little bit of that, so it's kind of hard to gauge it. But to me, even the Adams signing, I kind of understood it from a contractual standpoint. I don't think we expected it. hallmark basketball player just for us. Good vet, rehabbing himself coming back off of a season-ending injury. So I just think we need a different. If we're gonna play the drop, like you got to go get a player that has the measurables and athleticism to drop coverage on some of those second units. So I think that position, they filling that would be important because that'll really help us when Sengun is not on the court. When he's not on the court, we really struggle, and so I think a lot of that has to do with that function. Uh, that'll be great. I think. I mean, I would say a backup point guard, but if Fred is healthy, between Jalen, the man, and Holiday, you kind of have a committee there that you really don't. There's really no room on this current roster to even add one. To be honest, a couple guys in the pro. Like if you moved Holiday and I don't know somebody, then maybe you could say, okay, let me get a guard, another on-ball player. Even the same argument could be said for the shooting. 'Cause we need shooting, but like, where are they going to come from on this roster unless you move people? I think at this deadline, there's really nobody to move. Like, you just gotta play out through the year. If I think center is a position definitely they can actually feel that we need because Londale's halfway unplayable most of the games, and Adams is a matchup dependent. If we playing like Valanciunas or sure, then yeah, you want him on there. But most of the teams don't have those type of players. They have a lot of agile type of bigs that kind of play around them. So I think that's to me that would be the target. Now some shake loose with some of these big names. You heard that. There's a little report about KD being or the Suns talking about trading KD or if Booker becomes available. To me, there's no waiting on stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's no waiting. There's never a right like you just when one of them players gets available and if you can, you just do it.
you get them.
Not
Figure it
not
out.
not saying KD's, but just of that ilk. Like you got to go when you go because there's nothing guaranteed in this league, bro. Like people have this pretty Disney timeline of okay, we're gonna go to playoffs and we're gonna do this and we're gonna wait for this player to come along and then we're gonna sign our big name and this. Nah, bro, it don't happen like that. You just get who you get, bro. We just seen what happened with Luka going to LA. Like it just happens. The league, literally, the league. Every time the league shifts, it's so random. Nobody
Yeah,
ever expects it. Like when these big, like when LeBron go to Miami or Kawhi going to and Paul George teaming up on the clip. Like it's oh yeah, we see this coming. It's always out of the blue. The whole world could be rocked upside down just by tomorrow. It could be some okay, AD, Kyrie, and now KD in Dallas or something. So you just never know, bro. So I think if they get a chance at like a big, they might pull the trigger this deadline, but I doubt it that any of that happens. But I think just stay put. If you can get a center, get it. If not, like we already said, just see what you got in the playoffs, and because you're already playing with house money, being a second, third seed with a bunch of sophomores and third year, fourth year players.
I agree. I
Can I
agree.
ask you guys? Can I ask you guys a hypothetical question?
Sure.
What would you have given for Luka if Dallas would have called?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. You seen
Wait, what do you?
what we would have
What?
gave up for Luka if Dallas would have
Say,
called.
say Voodoo, Frank.
The house.
You yeah.
Someone would have threw the house at him, bro.
But I don't know how
They
did
would have
they.
thrown the.
What was the GM? What was he thinking? What was Nico thinking? Just taking AD in a first round from 2029, basically. What for Luka? I mean, did he want to get rid of Luka that bad to where you basically cripple your franchise for the? I don't know, man. I think he could have got 5 first round picks. Didn't how many did what's the name go with get from? I think he got like 3 or 4
Who?
first. Nicole,
Spots.
no, we was just Mikal Bridges,
Bridges went 5.
5 first.
But I mean, let me push back. People talking like AD is scrub, bro. Like this is Anthony Davis.
No, I
I
ain't
know that
saying
Luke.
he's a
Okay,
scrub. I
AD
ain't
is a
mean it
top
like
10
that.
player. Now I know, but to me, this trade, there's two parts to it. The way I look at it, there's two sections. There's the trade itself on face value. So basically, the argument of the actual the trade content is to me, AD worth like six first round picks, five, six first round picks, if not more. Right? He's one of them players. Like even though with his age, everything's still an all in defensive player of the year candidate, all star, still in his relative prime. He probably got 4 more years. So that's his value is high. So he's top 10, top 15 in the NBA right now. I think the argument for the trade content is, and to me, it's still Luca wins by a mile. Is that Luca better than the difference between what AD is and the rest of the stuff they got, like the first. And I think that's where you're like, bro, you could have snuck at least two, three first round picks in addition to that, and
Yeah.
maybe try to take like another young player that's actually, I don't know, you know what I mean? Try to take what's the white boy name? Not Connect, the other one, Austin Reeves or
Austin Reeves.
somebody.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, at least get a point guard out the deal. So that's one argument. So right, and I think Luca, his age, despite what all his issues are, he still clears whatever. But it's AD, bro. To me, that's like you getting back. You send a blue chip, you're getting a blue chip. They both flawed in a lot of ways. AD is a champion. I think if they were the same age, you would say, okay, that's a good trade. But the fact that Luka's much, much younger, it just invalidates the trade as far as the concept. The other part of it is the process and how the trade. That is where most people are pissed off about. And to me, is the most egregious thing I've ever seen. I don't know why they didn't shop the man around like he asked. I think most NBA GMs would have gave the house. They would have sent the full all out blitz to get Luca, bro. And I think one of them was quoted when they asked him, "What do you think most they?" So it's everything, bro. Like you said, if it's the Rockets, I mean, if Dallas calls you and tell you Luka Doncic on the market, I mean, what do you want?
Yeah.
This, you know, what I mean, what's the market? Like it's gonna start off with we got picks. Here, bro, you got picks and just work it out. It'll probably cost you Shangun and Man, some combination of those two, or you would preferably want probably an Amen Thompson with Luca instead of a Shangun. Shangun Luca two man is good on offense. Ooh, I don't know if the Rockets would stomach that. So I think most teams will give up. Like that's a like the it's like the Bigfoot of trades, and all of a sudden just happened. It's crazy. That's crazy. The craziest thing I've ever seen.
I just think they could have got more. You know.
Of course, I mean, yeah, bro,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this, like you said, did Luca have a? It seemed like Luca didn't even know he was getting traded. You know what I'm saying?
They said he didn't. He said
Yes.
nobody knew. I listened to a podcast. Yeah, they said Ramona Shelburne. I listened on the Hoops Collect. She said the Palinka and Nico kept it between themselves and a few of the executives on both teams until 30 minutes before the trade was finalized. That's when they told everybody, the owners and the agents and everybody. So nobody knew. Even Danny Ainge facilitated. He was facilitated. He
But
saw his
but
part.
but why pick the Lakers? You know what I'm saying? Like, why the Lakers? Why not any
Because
other these teams?
Nico and Palinka used to be they're friends. Nico was the executive at Nike, and when Rob Palinka was the
Oh,
agent,
yeah.
they had a prior relationship. They used to travel and do tours together with his clients. So they were boys. They go back Kobe like way back. You know what I mean? And so Nico has actually been wanting AD for a long time. So this wasn't like in his mind, he's after his guy. So it's like I got a guy that you want, you got a guy that I want. Let's make this happen, bro. It's like me and you was we was GMs of a team, and
Yeah.
there's a player I really like on your team, and I'm sick of the dude on my team. I'm like, hey, bro, all right, man, I got it. Let's talk. What's up? You really want to do this? Yeah. All right. And they just did it type stuff.
But you got
So
seem like,
they friends.
but it seemed like
It's some
you almost hamstringing yourself for the future, not getting. You know what I'm saying? Like I totally understand. Yeah, I want this guy. You want this guy, but
it's money, bro.
they
Money.
obviously know
That
that
man,
Luka is
they
worth
didn't
more
want to
than what
pay
he
him, bro.
got. Okay.
That man, I don't know, bro. 350 or whatever his supermax would have been. It was 350. Now I
Yeah.
don't know what all like saying in the chat. I think there's more than basketball involved in it. It got to be, bro.
Yeah, it
I ain't
gotta
never
be.
seen nothing like this. It's some. I don't know if Luca into horse racing. I don't know what he got going on, bro. But it's either to me is that bad that they like, you know what, bro? Nah, you got it. We don't want him. Then if it's that bad, and maybe we'll find out it is. Then man, that's crazy, bro.
But
If you living that bad, bro.
Well,
yeah, can the
I don't think it
Lakers
has
afford to
anything to
keep
do
him?
with Luka though.
Can the Lakers afford to give him a super max? I don't think they can
They gonna
afford
have to.
350.
Now, when LeBron gone, AD gone, yeah, they can afford it. LeBron
But
done,
then you
bro. I think after
rebuilding
this
now
season,
around
bro.
Luka. You rebuilding, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. Yeah,
This is
you just. But the Lakers have the discount of LA, bro.
yeah.
The Lakers always gonna get some. Y'all like they don't have the same recruiting. The Lakers could be the worst brand franchise in America, and the best star is gonna want to go play there for some damn reason, bro. Like so, you got Luka Doncic sitting in it's somebody coming. A couple people probably coming. So it's just a matter of time,
So Luka lost
honestly.
about 100 mil. That's crazy.
Whew.
All right. Like I think Frank was touching on something that I actually heard some rumors about Luca. How it has to be something beyond basketball. From what I'm hearing is that like basically the ownership group doesn't really care about basketball. This was like a ploy to get a casino built in Texas, and since gambling is illegal here, they wanted to use the Dallas Mavericks as like a bargaining chip to force legislation through. And
What? They bringing
and
politics into this?
What does that have to do with Luca though in the trade?
Yeah, Luka just getting screwed
I'm about
over.
to I'm about to explain it because like basically the moving the team to Las Vegas is the plan B. So like they're using the Dallas Mavericks who have had the highest attendance in the NBA for like 20 years straight. They're using like the Dallas Mavericks as a bargaining chip that, hey, if you don't get what if you don't do this thing we want, we're really trying to get this Las Vegas type of casino in Texas. If you don't do this, then we'll move Dallas. And in order for them to do that, they're not gonna move, like the league is not gonna approve a move from a city that has number one attendance. It's not gonna happen. But if you tank the ticket sales and the attendance, all of a sudden those moves start looking a little different, and you have a Seattle
Man,
situation where
hell
I don't
no,
know,
yeah.
bro, because they'll have to be
hell
bad
no.
for
That
like
shit.
Listen,
10
listen,
years.
listen,
Uh,
listen. Like I'm not saying it's not coming from me. I'm
That
just I'm
sound
just
like
saying
some
that
conspiracy stuff, Voodoo.
of course, it's a conspiracy. But I'm saying like it's not coming from me, but like it makes a hell of a lot more sense than like like they just decide to trade for AD because they thought it was just a good trade. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's more conspiratorial in my mind to trade Luka Doncic at 25 for Anthony Davis for
they,
and getting almost nothing back when you could have squeezed LA and gotten more stuff back.
nah,
You
they know
decided to take
something.
that.
There's some they know.
It's
I
something
don't
in
even
the
think it's
water
business.
that's not sweet,
I
bro.
think there's some with Luca that you know why I know there's some because y'all peep this. This how I know this was and all the stuff talking about people didn't know. People knew that this trade was coming. Like whoever was involved as far as the inner circle of people. AD waived his trade kicker, right? He waived his trade, so he waived that. And AD is with what agency? Space.
Clutch.
He is a Clutch Clients, who is Rich Paul's agency. Rich Paul is one of the most, when it comes to his coins and his money, that man does not concede anything. So this was, he knew, obviously, because you can't blindside Rich Paul and strong arm him into a trade and him just waiving money for his client. So that means they knew already that this was a possibility. And if Rich Paul knew, that means LeBron knew. And if LeBron, whatever is there. And then on Luka's side, I've never seen a player of his caliber get traded unwillingly and not push back. No pushback. The reason what I mean by pushback is his agent. His agent and pushback. You know how this agent works? These agency work have clients that aren't only one player. Because if you screw one player, you screw all the entire agency, the relationship with that. Nico is not that type of, like, he doesn't have that much cachet to go balls out where he's gonna screw. I forgot Luka's agent, who is a very well in basketball, in sports, period. So for everybody to remain passive and quiet and docile about it, something's up. It's something with Luka, bro. It's something with Luka.
Because it seemed like everybody knew except Luka.
And yeah, even if whether he did matter, because they didn't really like fight back about it. All he said was, I wish I could stay in Dallas. Like he would have, somebody agent would have been like, hell no, you ain't doing this.
Well,
like we ain't playing there.
With Luka Doncic, he literally just closed on a $15 million house in Dallas. Why would he do that if he knew he was about to be traded? Remember, like the reports are that Nico Harrison initially floated this to Rob Pelinka 3 weeks ago, and Rob Pelinka thought he was capping. So it wasn't just like this, like, on Saturday night it happened. They tried to do that like early January.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not even what he was doing. I'm talking about his agency ain't pushed back. So to me, that just adds more to it. That's more reason for me to be like, hell, my client just closed on it. Nobody said nothing, bro. So if I tell you, I come up to you, hired you or whatever, you're a worker, and I see you buying a house, you to move down to get a job here in the city, and this actually did happen to people. But you come down, you move your family, you done closed on a house, and I tell you, nah, bro, we gonna relocate y'all. You going to San Francisco, and you say, all right, well, damn, I really like this house, bro. I'm gonna go, thanks. Nah, you gonna fight, bro. So to me, all of that just lends to the fact that it's something there, bro. Like I don't know what it is, but to him to be that docile about it, and his agency to just accept the terms and not risky move for all the parties involved, bro. Like, and the fact that it was a trade that was mutual between Clutch Sports and Luka's agency, and it involved one of the players waiving a right that he has, and nobody's complaining about it. AD ain't mad at it. Luka's sad, but I don't know, bro. It's something there, bro. This is just too weird. We've seen these trade things where we watching Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler right now. That's normal. That's how this works. Damn near every time. We seen what Brooklyn, KD and them
James Harden
sidelines at games. James Harden, like that's normal, bro. This is so abnormal. There is. I love Rob Pelinka. He a good GM. He ain't no Nico. None of them have this much cachet, bro. So the only thing I give you with the conspiracy you kicking, it's coming from. So this is some big boy moves. This is some Genie Bus and whoever the owners are. This is some owners type stuff. If anything, if this happened randomly, then it's all ownership. If it is like as is presented, then it has nothing to do with the GMs. They just a talking head.
Right.
Because you don't do nothing like this for players this big, bro. And just like 30 minutes. That stuff don't happen, bro, out of just courtesy in the game, bro.
Yeah. And then if I'm Luka's agency, I'm losing money too, because when he hit that 350, I'm going to get a cut of that.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we all mad.
We all mad, bro. Like
Bingo.
I'm
We
not just
all
finna just be like,
some
okay, you can go over there and
yeah,
watch
bro. We going to
$50 million
Congress,
go with
bro. I'm
him
taking you space. We going to Supreme Court, bro.
for
I'm
real,
vetoing. We fighting tooth and nail.
for
And I close
real.
on the house. I'm gonna file a racism charge.
It's something,
Man, I'm pulling all this.
something, bro. I'm potentially probably watching $35-50 million that I could have go to LA. Like Lord, I'm just not gonna get it at all. Some is fishy with this whole trade. Something fishy, bro. I don't know what it is, like Frank, but something is fishy. This just don't happen out of the blue like this. It just don't happen.
The interesting part right now is also that okay, you've given AD a player and a pick, but now when you're getting him and you're getting him on own terms, and he's also extending, and he's extending with a lesser cap space. Now you've also got the perfect trading asset with Luka. He doesn't get as much money. He's still 26 years old, and now potentially you can get whatever. If LeBron goes next year and you want to rebuild and you don't think you can do it with Luka, you can trade him and you can get a bunch of picks and a bunch of players from everyone you want. So it's also okay. You've given AD today, but with this trade, you've also given yourself an option for a mega trade in the next 2-3 years. That's also a very smart move from Palinka, I think.
That's what's perplexing about why the straight up trade with no fishy stuff. Why didn't Nico even? I would have pointed that out. Like, bro, I'm doing you a huge solid because
Yeah,
even if just by me sending you, I'm cutting off 100 million off his salary, bro. And on the free market, you basically got a golden ticket.
because
You know what I
even
mean? So I
yeah,
would have squeezed.
because they can
Exactly.
still turn around and trade Luka for a haul. Like LA just come
Exactly.
out so pretty in this.
Exactly.
Like I said, I don't see how the Nuggets like Nico. It's like, what did you really get out of it? Yeah, you got a good player for now,
Oh my
but
god, bro got
like
finesse.
I don't know, bro. I don't,
Nah, I can't see. Nah, he too smart, bro. I can't. Ain't nobody that dumb, bro.
so what did he from face
That
value, Frank? What we know, what did he get
he got
besides
AD.
This
AD?
And
hamstring, is this hamstring issue chronical maybe? Is this guy
we
going to be
maybe
out
there's a medical. Yeah, we don't know. We
maybe he's
don't know,
out
bro.
for 1-2
Maybe it's
months every
medical.
single year. Yeah,
Man,
maybe.
Yeah,
this
maybe
looked
it's
like a
medical.
self-sabotage, man. Like he's sabotaging the
Uh,
Mavs, man. Because I don't see it. I don't see it, bro. I don't know.
man, bro. I don't know, bro. It doesn't make sense to me because I've seen a million of these trades, and the main thing with the agency relationships is that you have to live in a world that even though you may be offended by one client from the agency, you have to respect you have multiple clients. And once you sour with an agency, you'll notice certain players don't come to your team anymore. And as a GM, that is really hard to do. Like when you guys see about who's playing, who's not playing, a lot of that stuff is influenced by agency relationships and how powerful some of these agents are, and who the draft, and oh, I'm not going to this city, I'm not going there, because there's their clients. They know who their clients, like who they want them to go to, because they can take care of them, right? So I just don't see Nico. I know he got a lot of relationships though, because of Nike through his work as a Nike exec. But man, that's bold, bro. This a bold trade
Yeah,
on the cool. And the fact to me, the most damning part with the secrecy stuff is the fact that Clutch Sports was involved.
man. It seemed like
They
they
have
they
probably
move
the
like a
most power.
mob. They move like a mob,
Yeah,
bro. Like they MOB of
yeah.
the NBA, bro.
And
Like
Sports
AD
being like,
sitting down, AD
they
sitting
strong
down
arm Luca,
2 days, 3 days
man.
ago.
They strong arm
Oh,
Luca
yeah,
from the
the
Mavs.
sitting out. Yep, yep. The sitting out
AD,
of
I don't.
AD,
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean,
all
know.
of
You
that
know,
stuff is
Like,
real.
two, 3 days
all I'm saying
ago.
is that like if we find out, like, I don't know, 8 years from now that gambling addicts don't have to go across that border in order to lose their house. Like,
We're gonna build you a statue, bro.
Hey,
We'll build you a statue.
I will
remember this
personally say,
conversation?
If your
Remember this
conspiracy right,
I would personally
Remember
say,
this conversation?
Voodoo, you are a prophet or you know something,
or
bro.
it's gonna be
You
the
know what I'm
voodoo.
saying?
That we're gonna change the channel name to the Voodoo Shop.
The Voodoo Shop, man, or something, man. You got it. But you know what this trade do kind of remind me of? The Texans trading DeAndre Hopkins, because that was like, what, why,
Yeah.
and then what we got back for was like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then he was at the
that was
height
the
of it,
previous
but
worst trade in Texas. That
but
was the
if
previous worst.
it's-
Now this is the worst.
That was
Right.
the previous one.
and then it's like, but
Okay,
it would
that's a
be
good
more
comp.
like they traded Deshaun Watson without the allegations. Like if nobody knew about like he didn't do all of those. You know what I'm saying? Because Luka essentially would be a quarterback, and he's the most valuable player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it would have been more likely, like
It'd
they
be
traded
like trading
Deshaun Watson,
Pat Mahomes.
like
bro.
Pat Mahomes.
Like trading,
Yeah,
like trading
Or-
Pat Mahomes because you don't like it.
you don't like his wife or something.
And
or
something like that.
Yeah, like after 2018, just as imagine after the 0-27 game, we decided to trade away James Harden and say, oh, defense wins championships. Everybody would be like, okay, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
You know?
I ain't gonna lie. Some people would have validated because some people hated James Harden.
oh yeah, some people did.
The thing with that's different even from that analogy is that at least James, you've seen several iterations of him going to his limit, and you could justify him being like, "We pushed this." But Luka, he just got to the finals last year the first time, and he's so young that you haven't even. To me, if it comes down to like weight and guys, that's an organizational problem, bro. Like you can't get your employees to do what you want. Either the leadership isn't strong enough, the coaching isn't strong enough, and you guys are just conceding everything. Like you think of a coach like Email Udoka. If he was the coach in Dallas, he might have probably would have traded Luka. But I'm just saying, like to me, that does speak to what are y'all doing to set a culture that allows a player to drink beers and stuff. Like he wouldn't do that in Miami. You know what I mean? So it's to me, own some of the blame. Like it's not just the player, but like the organization, they dropped the ball too, and they basically threw their hands up. And to me, if I was the owner, I would have fired everybody before I traded Luka, honestly, and just exhausted every other thing. But nah, I think NBA needs to investigate this, bro. Like for I don't know if they want to, but it seemed like some
They don't
money
want to
laundering.
because Luka went to LA, but yeah, like what you're saying. I mean, at the very least, can you employ the Charles Barkley diet? You know, if it tastes good, spit it out. I mean, just do that. So much you could have tried instead of just giving away a guy for almost nothing. Like to me, 80 is a good player, but he's not in the same tier as Lucas. That means that you need more compensation than what you got, and he's 25. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. We need to find out in order for it to make sense, we need to find out that Luka has a chronic leg injury like akin to Tari for it to make sense to me.
Even with that, even I still think that they got played. Even if you told me Luca got injury that you don't know what it's gonna do to his career, just off of potential alone, I would have wanted more, bro.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
just off the potential of what he is, not even what he could be, because he could be terrible in LA, and I'd still want more.
yep. I guess the world would only knows, man. We just got to sit back and wait. Good discussion, fellas, man. I'm gonna have to jump off, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Frank, Aaron, Voodoo, everybody in the chat. Appreciate Jinko for giving out the 20 memberships. If you got a membership from Jinko, tell them you appreciate it. Thank you. Aaron, Voodoo, Frank, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. Got to get up and hit the job in the morning. So,
All right, brother. Thank you.
Take care, man. Thank
for
you.
sure. Y'all be good, man.
All right, later.
All right, CSGs, we up out of here, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Be back with us when we can. I'm gonna get up out of here. Peace, love, and soul. Let's go, Houston Rockets. Let's go, Houston Rockets.